bolts, but you have not drawn out any of the smoke bolts either, so you still have 4 smokes at the availability of LESTREAM. And a 3v3 contest right now is descending upon the site from the rafters will be Hicks, as he's ADSing to remove the bandit batteries placed on the CCTV balcony wall. And there go the remaining 2 sets to light up and open up a hole for anyone to vault in through. And the only member outside right now is Alfama, as Rise and Hicks continue to push in through the balcony on the rafters. So pre-fires back and forth, but no one's going to land a shot. Now ADSing against the shield. Dan in contest won't be able to hit the headshot. Lots of sprays now coming in through the wall as you still have the yokai set in place. One blast will be utilized to disorient Hicks as he's going to have to get the plant down. Shepard looking to go for a vault out outside, and Dan, trading shots back and forth with Alfama, but it'll be Shepard to clean up Rise inside the rafters, pushing down Cash Hallway now, and angling it off will be Scyther. It's all the shield left alone, and Dan will clean it up for his first kill in Pro League. Looking like nearly a team ace there for Empire, had Joystick not got 2, and Karzeka fallen early, but Team Empire on the defensive side with both hard breaches banned out.
LESTREAM ESPORTS とチームエンパイア。チームエンパイアね、そう言っております。ジョイスティック率いると言ってもいいぐらいのジョイスティックのエイムが冴え渡るチームエンパイア。今、EU1 ですね。クラブハウス見ていきたいと思います。ちょっと一人で寂しいんでね。
And just because you're down 2 bodies, you can't stick somebody in construction. You can't stick somebody on red stairs. You can't have anybody over on Gym Master side, which is going to allow Empire to fall back, as we saw them do. They can keep a body on red stairs, which was the Echo. That's a good spot to be. As long as you don't need to worry about any pressure from Lounge downstairs, then that Echo can just sit there, essentially unhindered on his yokai drones, giving the callouts needed, and being able to take the fight if pushed. We saw Alfama push him, but I don't think he had full information as to where Scyther was playing. Additionally, the fact that Empire were able to fall back to construction, making LESTREAM have to take the site and go for a plant with the yokai still in play, possibly a C4 in the hands of Dan. And then the plant denial as well from the smoke. You had a great lineup of operators from Empire that could just sit back and wait. And if there's 30-40 seconds left, it gives a massive advantage to the defenders. It forced LESTREAM to be very aggressive and try to take the fights, knowing that they had to at least have a numbers advantage to get that plant down, given the immense amount of utility that was still in the hands of the defenders. And LESTREAM just wasn't able to do it. And that lack of presence inside of construction proved to be very damaging for them. And we'll see if they're able to rectify it, because I will imagine, the fact there's still 5 rounds remaining, we'll see another CCTV cache hold from Empire. And it likely won't allow them to have an early advantage by getting a pick onto Uno the way that Joystick did. Kind of cheeky thing that you really only see once, and then the attacker's a little bit more cautious about it. So, it's going to be a downstairs defense now. Down in the church side of things, a fitting place, given that it is Good Friday, and will allow Empire to go to their second defense.
Continuously droning out the garage here for LESTREAM as they try and, I guess, isolate wherever Joystick could be. He is not actually roaming right now. He's currently downstairs with the rest of his teammates. So, like you talked about, that intimidation factor, and one intimidating factor for Empire will be Karzeka on the pulse now, having a nitro cell at his disposal, and Hicks apparently being a very important portion of this attack, running the Montaigne in back-to-back rounds. You see the Montaigne prioritized for garage push when defending CCTV cache, but Hicks going to bring it out in round number 2, knowing that they'd be attacking downstairs. Joystick narrowly escaping the purview of Rise from the top of blue stairs, and these Kairos now will attach themselves to the hatch tops and start to blow those open for angles downstairs. Well, with Thermite being banned out, that means you're not going to be able to open up the church wall, at least not in a way that would allow you to walk in. And if you want all 3 hatches open, you're definitely not saving any X-Kairos for the downstairs wall into sight.
Having a singular hard breacher on the board for a church take is awfully hard. And I think that's why you're seeing LESTREAM essentially triple up on the smokes. You're presuming that Joystick is going to be running a Jaeger most of the time, so that ADS is likely to be able to catch at least 4 of those smokes. Keep in mind that, the asphyxiating bolts and the smoke bolts aren't going to be caught by the ADS. But speaking of, you're going to see Joystick get flushed out of blue.
最近こういうハードピーク、逆のハードピークっていうのが結構流行ってますね。防衛側からどんどんがっつりハードピークしていくっていうのがメタではありますね。
So LSE will try to recover. He'll be in the hands of Rise. Joystick gets a bit too aggressive around the Moto door. And Rise will now try to take out the diffuser. But no, Scyther cuts down Alfama all the way at the end of the hall. And Rise will just sit and wait patiently. Grabbing that diffuser, he's got the glass with him, but there's not a lot of time to work with. Oh, Uno just missing Scyther. A bit of a strange play there from Uno to completely avoid the Echo, who is still deeply entrenched inside of blue and has these punch holes, possibly able to prey on somebody. Through the hole, it's going to be Aces to take out Scyther, seeing him, and Shepard taking out Rise. It's going to be an absolute slugfest inside of the church, but it's all up to Aces. Very little on HP, no time available, and as you can see the red pings, he was under watch that entire way. No step was going to be made inside a church for Aces that wouldn't have been given to the rest of Empire. And they will take their second round in a row.
Honestly, this whole game should be extremely defender-sided. So if you're out there and you're a LESTREAM fan, I don't think we've even seen anything too catastrophic from LESTREAM in either of these rounds. The spawn peak and then subsequently letting Joystick get another pick on the roam clear in round number 1 was a little worrisome. But at the end of the day, they were still able to bring it back down to a 3v3 on a site push. The problem with only having one hard breacher and having it be Hibana is that you're very limited in the amount of surface area you can open up onto any one of these angles, and it allows too many safe havens for these defenders. So if you are a LESTREAM fan out there, don't get too concerned right now. And I mean, even if this does head to a 5-1, okay, maybe a 6-0 split is kind of where we start talking. Maybe this is danger territory because you can't make one mistake for the rest of the game. But even a 5-1 split, I could see happening here, considering the rotation that'll be necessary. That's exactly what Empire will go for here. The tertiary bomb site will be selected to be the gym and bedroom, a bomb site that is pretty tough to defend on a normal day. Today's not a normal day. We've got LESTREAM battling for a land spot right now, and Empire testing things out, and I'm not sure what happened to that rotate hole there, but Dan is finally able to squeeze on through. His castle barricade setup is quite standard. You castle off the gym window, you castle off the door to the hallway, give your bandit some time and some breathing room if a Zofia or an Ashe is taken to take down those castle barricades. At least have the barrier of 2 so that you waste all their utility on those.
I think you nailed it when you said how defender-sided this is going to be. Leave it to Empire, though, to be able to come up with some kind of ingenious tricks on attack and get around the fact that they only have a singular hard breacher. I mean, Hibana's going to work really well no matter what on most maps, but just putting everything in her hand, given the fact that the X-Kairos can't open up as wide of a berth as an exothermic church does, is going to, you know, quite dramatically impact the way that you play around most of these sites. It'll be most pronounced on that church site downstairs, solely because you usually want to get at least 2 of those 3 hatches. And if you do that, well, it's only going to leave you with 1 set of X-Kairos. That's it. Speaking of 1 set of X-Kairos, you see an impact trick here from the Alibi, who's under watch from several members of LESTREAM, but you can't tango with the Montaigne for the time being. At least one of those doorways will be cut off. She's just seeking to wait and hold out on the angle. Yet again, as Karzeka is quite a focal point here, he'll get all but it appears to be 1 X-Kairos, so possibly picked away after that small hole. But look at this, 1 minute and 10 seconds has been wasted just trying to determine the location of Karzeka. And the apprehension from LESTREAM, because they are aware of how good of a shot he can be, means that he might not end up escaping without losing a body at the same time. So 2 asphyxiating bolts get thrown in, Karzeka will lose half of his HP, finds himself in the Lion's Den right now, going against the Hibana, will land a couple shots onto Alfama, but ultimately lose. It's a gambit that for Team Empire just bought them half of the round of, I suppose, some relief, as now LESTREAM realize they've been able to flush out cash and they can reposition.
Honestly, it's a worthwhile trade right there. You saw Dan coming in support from the the bedroom window in towards construction wall as well. He's just sending some shots in there, hoping to get lucky, but it looks like Joystick has been droned out downstairs inside of the bar, right inside the jukebox. That's precarious for them as well. He doesn't have a nitro cell, but he could be a flank potential operator heading towards cash stairs and coming in behind the majority of this LESTREAM push.
これは起きドローンの見られてきつい。ジョイスティック多分これは狩られちゃいますね。
Just as he enters in the pool table window, Joystick is able to maneuver in behind that half wall. Drone has lost visibility on him, but default camera will call out to Joystick as the flashbangs ring out as well, playing inches away from one another. Finally, the drone will spot him out, and Joystick giving away his location, and Uno not pushing just yet. Able to escape again to the front door, but finally locked down. Joystick eliminated, but again, we sit at 30 seconds. Dan and Alfama will trade, dropping us down to a 4v2 for Shepard and Scyther to work their way out of. One made it into the into
Jim.
Jim. With that cast barricade still standing, that'll be up to Scyther to burst through. Looks like it's been prepped and it has, but as he moves it down, Aces on a good reaction will drop Scyther. Now leaving Shepard alone. He's on a logistics, working out of a crossfire that he doesn't really have an escape of, and that'll be Uno sending him to the grave. Good, nice little finish there for Uno and the rest of the stream and around that really didn't look like they had much of a shot with how much utility and time trying to establish Karzeka's location. After the site was left open, they were able to take advantage.
And you gotta have to imagine the pressure that LESTREAM knew that they had on them as they're seeing the clock just bleed away, trying to figure out where Karzeka is. Using his 2 impacts to cut down on the X-Kairos, essentially not necessarily wasting the hard destruction that was in the hands of Hibana, but at least severely reducing its impact at the hands of Haha an impact or 2. I was also very skeptical of the way that LESTREAM was going to be able to recover there, but once they took control of construction, it just kind of snowballed from there. They still had the Monty up. They could still push on in. You dispatch Uno downstairs to try and figure out where Joystick is, who, in most circumstances where Joystick was playing, could have been particularly advantageous. You can retake and catch somebody off guard. Keep in mind that Nomad is not banned, yet LESTREAM isn't running her. And with the fact that you're going so smoke-heavy on LESTREAM's side, there might not even be a Claymore in play here, depending on the way that you're looking at it. Depending on the lineup that LESTREAM is bringing, rather. So there's really nobody to watch flank, and there's no peace of mind that you get from any possible gadget that can watch that flank either. Joystick could have been able to push onto that position and been able to have that information and use it to his advantage, but it was not to be. Uno was essentially sent down to try and find
多分
Joystick
ね、
while
こ
the
れ
rest
ノー
of
マ
the
ッド
team
がバンされてない
did
ん
what
で、
they
ジョイ
needed
ス
to
ティ
do on the
ック
site,
攻撃側に乗ったら
leaving
ノーマッド
once
を
again,
おそらく使って
Empire
くるん
too
で、
far off. Very similar to what we
今
saw
ノーマッ
on
ド
the
しかほぼ使ってない
CCTV
んですよね、ジョイ
casual
ステ
in
ィ
round
ッ
number
ク。
1 was that Empire
ノーマッ
fell
ド
off, conceded
足はも
most
う
of
引
the
退
site,
して、
but they knew
ノ
they
ーマ
had
ッ
the
ドばっかりな
tools
ん
to
で、
work their way
ジョイ
back
スティックのノー
if
マッド
they
が見れる
needed
と
it.
思います。
Also aware that LESTREAM
ここが
didn't really
ね、
have the tools to do much when they actually got to the site.
面白いと思
Difference
うん
being
で。
was that LESTREAM still had plenty of utility, and you didn't really have all that much on Empire's side of things, just simply because of the way that Jim is set up, and then also where they were playing. It's a good effort, at least, but Shepard's not going to be able to win a 1v4 in
LMG で
that
すね、キャ
position.
プターは
You
LMG
know,
も
walls that you
サ
can't
ルト
spray
も
through, and a couple members of
性能が
LESTREAM
実は全く
launching.
一緒な
So
んで、
we're going to see as they go
相
back
談数が多い
upstairs
サル
to the
あ
cache
ー
CCTV
LMG
site
使
on
ってる方
Empire's
ですね。
side. They lost the last round. A lot of their success
で、
came
まあここは鉄
early
板のガ
on,
レージ
taking out
防衛で
Uno
す
and
ね。
then
ガレー
grabbing
ジ
a
防衛
second
し
kill
て、
fairly fast.
ガレー
Is
ジ
it
で
going to
食い
be the
止めてって
case
い
on this
う
round?
鉄板の
This is such an awkward angle
Boy,
here from
boy,
Ace. He's
yeah.
trying to rappel upside down on the garage door. He's actually landing
おー、ただ
shots.
グラズがちょっとこれ
Karzeka
は
with 60 damage
きついです
all the way up on
ね。
the rafters.
グラズがかなり効いてます
TSO3
ね。
and
あー、
again
これは出
trying to
てる
isolate
な、
off
出てる、あ
Karzeka.
ー、
Now
出て
the
る、出てる、
Beatport's
これはきつ
alive,
い、
but
これ
these
はきつい。
fixating bolts drop
これは
down.
きついで
He
すね。
hits the docks, we can
これはき
revive,
つい。
but Hicks will actually be the one to
まあ
clean
これは
up
し
the
ょうがないです
pistol
ね。
point
ヒアも
blank
抱かれ
range.
て、
They got pressure from down below as Joystick
ガレッ
inside
ト
an
で押し切
oil
られたって
pit.
感じです
Will be
ね。
droned out
あ
and
ー、ちょっ
spotted
と
by
今のは
Hicks
ド
and
ロー
have
ン
to
壊すの
retreat.
で、ジョイ
It's
ス
a
ティッ
good
クの位置
start
がバ
here
レ
for
てしまっ
LESTREAM
た
though,
の
able to
で、
identify and lock down Karzeka again. And that's
ジョイスティックは
a
逃げ
stark
てます
difference
ね。
that I've noticed so far for Empire is that Joystick and Karzeka aren't playing as close together as they used to be.
で、
No,
これで、
Karzeka's moved into more of a support-oriented
それで
role
も
recently.
ガ
I'm
レージ
assuming
プ
this
ッ
was
シュは
deliberate.
変
He
え
had
な
a
いですね。
decent
ガレ
tournament at
ー
the
ジ
Six
がっつりして
Invitational,
ます
but then
ね。
since
で、
then,
あー、外割
he
った
hasn't
ん
really
で、こ
shown
れ
the
火
same
花割り
prowess
に
that
な
he's
りま
had
すね。
previously, and I think that's hurt
火花が割
Empire
って、
definitely.
そこから
Used to be
まあ、
having
スタートって
Karzeka
感じで
playing
す
on that
ね。
aggressive Zofia role. They used to have him
まあ、
also taking many fights
あ
on
こ
defense.
こま
Hasn't been the case
でバ
at
ンさ
all.
れ
He
てる
doesn't
と、
have a kill yet on this entire game.
そうですね、テルミットもないんで、中間割るっていう
In this round without much of an
考えに
altercation.
いた。
Ball
お
doubling
ー、
up for LSE. A
これは、
beautiful shot
オー
from
マイ
Aces.
ガー。
As you lose both Joystick and Shepard, it's going to be all up to Scyther and Dan. Scyther proving his worth time and time again, but the newest member of the team, Dan, will have to show his. It's a 5v2 as site execute going down, 40 seconds left. Not a
まあ
lot of
確
time
か
to
に
work
火
with
花
your
しかいなかっ
defender
た
because the
らこの
attackers
攻
will
め
be
方
pushing
が
on
いいかもしれない
in.
です
Reposition
ね。
the
あー、
Yokais
これ
by
は
no
もう
means
妖怪
see
どう
all
な
the
と見
marks.
かかってますけ
Lots
ど、
of
多分これ成
information
立しない
there,
です
but
ね。
everyone's going to be able to grab
下から
Scyther,
滑
and
っ
it's
ちゃ
going
っ
to
て
be no
て、
miracle there for the Echo.
ドローン回しも
Hands
綺
of
麗です
Dan, who looks
ね。
for one
ド
kill. He
ローン
finds
で
out
多分
Alfama,
ほ
but
ぼ
he's completely
全部位置
blind.
把握して
His
ると思い
wall
ま
will
す。
fall,
上
and
側
it'll
の。
get picked away from Aces. No cover whatsoever. Both
これは綺麗な
metaphorical
攻めですね。
and physical as it was taken away due to the caliber destruction of that Glaz rifle, and it'll be LESTREAM righting the ship on the cache CCTV defense in large part because they didn't lose that utility early, they didn't involve themselves in fights needlessly, and once they flushed Karzeka out of garage, they had a clear path to lead up to the side wall that was somewhat exposed and then able to be shot away from the Glaz leading inside of CCTV.
Yeah, no, I talked about about how, you know, if you're a LESTREAM fan, don't feel bad if it's a 5-1 split. They've guaranteed at least now that the worst hole they could be in is 4-2. And right now, the way that LESTREAM are playing and picking apart each individual item from Empire, I'm waiting to see what the other shoe is going to be for Empire. That's always what it is. You know, you think you've got them figured out, and then the other shoe drops, and all of a sudden they throw another corkscrew at you that you just can't handle. I'm waiting to see what that is right now for Empire because they haven't really brought that out. It seems like they're pushing one person to contest with the majority of the push. They kill about 30 seconds to a minute, then they die. Then they send another person out. Alright, go deal with the rest of the push, 30 seconds to a minute. And then it's a minute of surviving the site execute. I'm waiting for that extra flank. I'm waiting for that extra person to jump into the engagement to make it a two-man hold in wherever they're trying to be, whether it's the rafters, whether it be down below the garage, whether it be inside of cache. Waiting for the adjustment here from Empire. So far it's been LESTREAM making the adjustments and Empire running the same thing. And it hasn't really worked out so far.
If Empire
not successful on the church defense in this particular round, then I think things go sideways real fast for them. You know, you said that this was going to be a largely defender-sided matchup, and this site in particular does not lend itself well to having a single hard breacher the way that you can possibly pull it off with the other two sites. I mean, very similar to Bank, Clubhouse is not a lot of fun to attack without two hard breachers at minimum. We're used to seeing a Maverick at Band here because of how strong he can be, not just on hatches, but also able to cut down the walls using that blowtorch technique we've seen where you cut the top and the bottom and the middle pane falls off, allowing a Buck or an Ash or a Sophia or a Sledge to get full value out of the soft wall that's remaining. But I think LESTREAM is playing this right. They were likely anticipating that they would be running with a singular hard breacher. I mean, hey, it was LESTREAM who banned out the Thermite. They understood that they were going to be playing with one Hibana. And you know, having Empire run Thermite as reliably as they do, it might have a dramatic impact on the way that Empire plays on attack. Not just because there's two hard breachers gone, but also because one of the operators that they often use won't be available to them. We focused on Karzeka in the previous round, Rob. He switched off to a Pulse and is going to completely change the way he plays. Now, given this site, it's possible that he might have him playing in the spot that is referred to as Pulse spot, which is just down over by the wall leading to the bottom of main stairs. It's a good quarterbacking position. Also looked like Aces was possibly going to crawl up the stairs there on Oil Pit, but there was a member of LESTREAM not too far off.
逆に今やるチャンスだったんですけど、ドローマーしてる最中でやるチャンスであったんですけど、これ置きドローンがちょっとね、いやらしいですね。この青階段の上にある置きドローンが非常にいやらしい。あれがある以上青階段も登れない状況ですね。で、これはもうスモークはフェイクですね、これ。で、ずっと裏ドンピックされてるので、フェイクじゃないですね。これ本命のプッシュのためのスモークですね。
There has been one member of Empire to reposition towards blue stairs, and it looks like it was Dan or Karzeka. It is Dan, and he will ultimately fall to Alfama. Another one on Karzeka, as it's just dominoes right now for LESTREAM. Shepard, the lone man inside Church, is going to have to contend with Hicks. He's going to lock him down from the pistol close range, but oh my, he whiffs it, and now Shepard's able to collect the kill. The plant going down, and Rise with an immediate trade onto Scyther, so it leaves Shepard alone, the one man in behind the bar. What a beautiful shot onto Rise, deep in behind K9. The plant gets completed, though, and he's got two stacks.
惜しい。いや、今のはいい裏取りだと思ったんですけど、カットされてましたね。
Empire really didn't need to take a lot of those fights that they took. Joystick finding himself in the line of fire, playing extremely loosely and very aggressive, fed right into the way that LESTREAM has been playing this. LESTREAM are not wasting any time. They realize that if they put one round of Xkaros on that church wall and control two of the hatches, that's all they need. They can completely annex the kitchen side, which they've done so far, and just focus on controlling Blue, controlling Moto, and once you claim church, you don't have enough destruction caused from either a Thermite or a Maverick to have to worry about all of those lanes that defenders can fight back from. You keep your Glaz in a position where Aces survives to the latter portion of the round, and he can just hold down an angle. And Aces is a player who just doesn't miss his shots. If there's somebody that you want just sitting there holding an angle, daring the defenders to peek him, Aces is as good a candidate as any. I really like what we're seeing out of LESTREAM. This aggressiveness is seemingly getting under the skin of Empire. They don't really know how to deal with it.
金庫が正直グラズでご了承されてキャピタルも引いたかれてでグラ ガレージが守れなかったので、ここは正直、金庫守りっていうのが、まだいいかなと僕も思いますね。
or if LESTREAM is going to get a second victory in a row and propel themselves to a 4-2 split. In the meantime, with both Heart Breachers banned, one of which being LESTREAM's choice, leaving Clubhouse tied 3-3 on attack is pretty good. And we'll see if that can continue through that second half. We got about 3 minutes to go on the very final defense for Empire.
もうでも攻めはワンパターンですね。攻めワンパターンで、まあ成功してるからワンパターンなのかもしれないですけど、すごいですね。もうグラスのドローンマーチもずっとこのパターンですね。今のは発見したかな。このジョイスティックが有利ですね。いや、これが正しいと思います。ああ、戻っちゃうんだな。これ引いちゃうのなんですかね。引かない方がいい気が。
But to see him then go back down, that's the weird thing for Joystick is he'll take a shot when he knows the hole's there. The hole was there. He decided to play safe. And it seems like all of Empire are opting to play a little bit safer than they usually do, given that maybe they don't like Clubhouse, because typically they don't play a whole lot of Clubhouse. Or B, they don't like the way the LESTREAM are locking them down as soon as one member gets separated from the pack.
I'm not entirely certain. Keep in mind, as we said, that with Dan being added to the roster, there's likely some cohesion that has fallen off in comparison to where Shockwave was, just because you got a member of your team who might not have a lot of experience playing alongside you. And when you look at the tools that Empire are running, they have opportunity to shut down a lot of the operators that LESTREAM have. You know, you've got a Glaz and a Montaigne that have largely been on a buddy adventure here together, sticking side by side with Hicks and Aces, coordinating very well. And my, Dan just absolutely obliterated. Finding himself in the line of fire. You lose your Legion with a minute to go. That's a couple goo mines that won't be available to possibly halt the advances of the attackers. It's also going to allow Aces to continue to take up space inside blue, walking on in. He spots another body, but he can't pull the trigger fast enough. Understanding that there might be some counterfire. He'll seek the safety, but he'll find sight. Joystick takes out Uno.
The trade there is Joystick really being the difference makers. He's gone upstairs.
まあただ正直有益に出てないからこうなっちゃってるっていう見方は、おお、いつの間にどっから上がったんだ。おお、うまいですね。最高のパターンで。お、ああ、シーフで今のシーフが刺さんないわ。なぜなのか。ここで減っていくんだ。もう目標がないんで。
Again, the pre-fires through the walls will not connect. You have a rotate in the main hall where Joystick is positioned. Alfama can't pull the trigger and Joystick going through him. The Russian machine looking to bounce back as it's just Hicks alive. Floundering at the door now, trying to go melee against melee, and he'll be down and finished off Karzeka. Able to get his first kill of the game. And that is Team Empire equalizing. A beautiful flank there from Joystick in the catalyst to stop Aces in his tracks.
Joystick being able to go up, and as you said, a bit more patience that he's shown. It hasn't seen the previous round to take the stairs into oil pit and then going upstairs inside of stock, controlling the hatch, getting the kills on both Rise, as well as Aces. That ultimately swung the tide of the round. It doesn't help that Alfama missed his shots against Joystick inside of the main hallway.
ちょっとどのタイミングでジョイスティックが登ったか見えなかったんであれですけど、多分メイン回かな、あれは。メイン回から登ったんですね。青回はもう、私が外来てたんで、青回プッシュだろうっていう判断で、まあ、もうずっと一方方向でのプッシュっていうのがついてたので、多分ジョイスティックがメイン回から上がって、裏を取るっていう判断ですね。
completely swing over. Need I remind you, though, that the Joystick play on the hatch took out two incredible operators and two strong players of LESTREAM, single-handedly what turned the tide of that round. Probably should have been a LESTREAM win, but Joystick said, no thanks, I'm going to take it this time. And he took it from there.
結構そのチームエンパイアっていうのは反撃型のクランチームなので、まあグラズみたいな平面押しの強いオペレーターがいるとやっぱりぶっ刺さってしまうというところがありますね。
onto the Hibana, and I wonder how much Shockwave
まさにワンパンのとかを開けてこう対抗しようとしてましたけど、そこに対してグラズがぶっ刺さっていったっていうのが今の攻めの形ですね。それを狙っていたのか何なのかはちょっと分かんないですけど、まあうまい攻めでしたね。ミストリームの
For Dan as well, it provides more opportunity for flexibility on the operators. Simply because we've talked about Empire so many times, how they're so rigid in their operator selection. They run like 6 or 7 attacking ops ever, and that's all they choose to run. I don't think I've ever seen Empire in every game that I've seen of them run a Capitao. Could be wrong, they might have pulled it out once or twice. But they're very calm operators. The buffed Capitao will certainly help with this, but also just having a new player who might be more comfortable on these ops, especially being in a flexing fragging position on his former team. I'd be able to benefit from this. Got joystick on the IQ though. He's going to be continuously working his way downstairs. He's able to spot out Rise and
クレイモーから変わっちゃったからやめたんですかね。
coming up with the 4 out of him and being able to see its rise to the floor and decimate him.
そんなに強いかって言われると僕の中ではそんなにクレイモーの
thing for
強
joystick
い
as
ってい
well.
う
We
の
talked about it
は
in an interview. Talked with
そ
him
ん
in
な
an
に
interview
影
a few
響
weeks
があ
ago.
っ
We
た
asked
とは
him,
思っていな
what's
く
the change to the
て、
ACOG on an Ash doing for you? And he says,
一番
yeah,
ぶっ刺さ
screw
っ
the
てたのはやっぱ
R4
現地への
and
直
screw
差し
the
が一番ぶっ刺さっ
G36.
てたと思ってる
I'm
ん
on
です
to
よ
greener
ね。
pastures. And he said IQ was his newfound flair. So, the 6 picks in that round end up being Hicks going from Maestro to Echo directly into Joystick's Jackal to IQ 6 pick. So they mirror each other.
これヘンプ縛れちゃったん
It'll
で、
be Joystick
ヘン
left
プ
to
シュ
utilize
ッ
his
ト
utility to
使
spot
い上
out
げる
these
っていう
yokai
感じです
drones
ね。
wherever they may be. But there's a lot of utility on the side of Lestream that could be spotted out by Joystick.
Joystick also has been running that Nomad, but you don't really need her here on Clubhouse, especially
多
when you
分ドロ
assume
ー
that
マ
most
し
of the
休ん
defenders
で
will be
ると思
sitting
うんで、
down in
バ
the
ーか
site.
らの
And
リ
because
と
of that,
メ
I
イ
mean,
ンか
there
ら
might
の
be
こ
some
の
small
ロン
flank
グ
routes within the actual site itself,
は
but
も
by
うド
that
ロー
point,
マし休
you're
ん
better
で、
served using
あー
utility
結
for
構まし
other
たね。
means, and that's
今
exactly what
BA
you're
の
going to see in Joystick. It's a smart
竹
6
っていう
pick
のが
because
入
you
っ
got
て
the Pulse on the
C4 が飛
board,
んで
you
き
got
て、
the Echo on the board, and you have the Legion as well.
C4
So
は
while the stream was able to
おそら
set
く
a much
祭
faster
壇側
pace
から
through the latter half of their attack,
あ、
it's going to be Empire
軽
taking
く
a bit of
そう
time
だ
to
な。
figure things out. First kill will go on to Aces, though, as it's Karzeka being able to take out the Legion. It's going to be tough to come back from that in terms of what a
リー
Legion
ジョンが
brings
飛
to
ん
the
だので、
table.
キッチンを開けようって判断ですね。
Also see some X-Karos go down as the Pulse fell from Shepard, and good coordination there as you saw Karzeka droning. LSE actually had a great bout of droning, and now it's going to be Empire doing the same thing, but you don't really need a drone there when Uno misses all of his
その
shots.
形が好き
Joystick
で
is
す
able to
ね
take him。down.
あちこちから
See if
攻め
Hicks
を
is
か
going to
け
be able to do
て、
much as he now
どっから
moves on to
補
the
修
blue
してるのか
stairs.
は
You
分
see
からなくてよっ
aggressive
てい
play
う。
from the smoke of Alfama, and Lestream are in really bad shape, to say the least. Only 15 seconds left. It looks like it's going to have to be
で
a
も
kitchen
本命はこ
draw
れ民
patch.
会
We're
の
not
こ
going
の
to be able to
キ
see
ャ
something
プチャ
from
ーのお尻
Alfama.
だ
Hicks
と
is
思
on
い
a
ます
rotate
ね。
now. Shotgun gets pulled out. It's a double shot onto Shepard,
じゃな
down
い
amidst
ね。
the smoke, but he's going to miss onto the Capitao, waiting to hear the
金折
M249.
りが
Alfama
一
not
応
spotted just
プラ
yet.
ントとしては
Joystick
本
going
命
for the
だ
plant.
ったのかな。
Oh, we have an
あ
opportunity.
ー、これは
Lestream
残
in the last
念。
second.
も
Oh
った
my
いない。
goodness, what a play! And everybody from Empire
ここでね、
still
プランターやられ
upright,
ちゃ
but
ってね、一番
nobody
ね、
is
いい
able
で
to
すよ
spot
ね。
the smoke. And it's an
う
absolute
ん、ス
calamity
モー
on
クを
the
誰も見
site.
てなかったの
The
が今
stream
の
take it,
インパイアとしては、
and they regain the
ス
lead.
モークの中を見てなかったのがインパイアとしては範囲ですね。
The hell? Okay. Let's refocus everybody.
あ、初見さんありがとうございます。
Alfama, you magician. That was probably the most awkward series of events that have ever transpired downstairs inside of Clubhouse. Alfama able to shroud himself in the smokes that were dropped by Dan. That's a bad break for the new guy, especially considering he smoked off the rotate, dropped the hatch,
まあ、金庫
ran into
ね、
his
どういう
own
ふうに守っ
smoke.
てくるかですね。やっぱ
Alfama
り、
and
キ
Dan
ャ
play ring
ッ
around the
トを
rosy
入れてる
inside
と、
the smoke.
キャットを
Alfama
入れ
even
てる
tries
の
to gun down with
は
the
両チーム変わら
shotgun
ずですね
inside the smoke, but misses.
まあ、やっぱりガレージプッシュするときに逆転っていうのはかなり強いんですよね。視野の範囲が広がったっていうところもあってると思うんですけど、
There you go,
It
mayhem,
was absolute mayhem.
chaos,
追い出す
nothing
の
but
が
chaos. And I mean,
す
props
ご
to Alfama to
く
keep
丁寧にうま
composure
くいってる
in
ん
that
で、
situation. You know, your nerves in that point will probably send you to, yeah, I need to get kills right now. We're down 3 people. They're going to be going for a plant. I just need to push out of this smoke and be the best implementation of a Terminator I can be.
キャプターをね、入れるとガレージプッシュっていうのはかなり
Overwhelming on
ぶっ
that
刺さり
one.
ます。
honestly, that looked like it should have been an Empire round through and through. LESTREAM getting caught out through kill holes in the floor inside of Kitchen multiple times over really set them at a huge disadvantage.
いや、そこのローテーションホールのところ、
And I feel like I was just
展
complimenting the
開
drone
型
work
資
from
料で
Empire
隠す
as
のは、こ
well. And
れ
nobody
はリ
seemed
ス
to
ト
have
リーム
bothered to
も
drone
チームエンパイアもやってる
out
作戦で
where
す
we
ね。
saw the smoke playing
ガレージ
from
からの
LESTREAM.
戻り
It
ってい
just
う
it
の
wasn't
を
it wasn't
外側
very
から
when
ロッ
you
クされちゃう
allowed
と
Alfama,
きついの
who has
で、そ
gotten
こはもう
better
隠しましょうってい
progressively
う。
over the
お
entire
お、
course of this
すごい。
season
ちょっ
to
とだいぶラッシュっ
just
ぽい
wreak
形
absolute
です
havoc.
ね。
Get 2 downs and
ガレー
then
ジ完
finish
全に見て
off
ない
the
ですね、これは。
planter in the final second. Empire is wasting no time here, though. They managed to
これ
open
火を
up
焚い
that
て、
CCTV wall, in
餅
large
つ
part
きさ
because
せ
of
ない
the
ようにし
coordination
て、
from Dan to be able to use the asphyxiating
外を
bolts that pushes aces off of the
東
wall.
京壁を焼いている、
Hard to
焼い
really
たっていう形ですね。
emphasize
ほぼ
how
ラッシュみたいな
strong
感じ
those
ですね。
asphyxiating bolts
今
are
の
now. They
焼きは。
grow as much as they do. Yeah, they don't do as much damage, but in a competitive environment,
で、今、
you're not
多分
usually
有
using
益
them
を
for
探してます
damage.
ね、
You're
これは。
usually using them for area denial. In this case, your area that you're denying is the wall in which you'll see the bandit
火花がどこ見
So
て
you've
た
opened up
の
at
何見て
least
た
a
のかは
vault
今わかん
hole
ないで
that
す
is
ね。
possible for Empire to be able to
お
work
お、こ
on,
の
and
写
it's
真
going to go
は、
against
これ
them.
は、
Dan, who's making his
これ
pro
は
league
やらしい
debut,
線出
mind
ました
you.
ね。こ
It's got out by
こ、
Uno.
最近
Positioned
流
up on the
行ってるポジションなんですけ
rafters,
ど、
essentially, just simply
乗れるんです
waiting.
よ。
Bit of dizziness there for you. Hopefully you don't feel motion
でね、ガ
sickness.
レージプッシュしないと、これ乗られちゃうんでね、きついんですよね。外
Very
空いて
little
て。
focus from Empire on Garage. A lot of teams used to tussle with
最近は
construction.
こ
That
う
was the main
登るの入っ
focus
てます
point for a lot
ね。
of the attackers. It switched to Garage. It now appears that Empire favoring the construction side of things, but there's a restlessness as they now look to possibly be changing things around and
あ
going
そ
with
こ登る
logistics
と
office.
外
Joystick finds
の
himself in an
ガレ
altercation,
ー
but
ジ
he's
に
not going to find anybody on the stream side of things.
ラペリングしてるのとかがバレ
Curious enough
て、
that Joystick
バ
apparently
レ
has
たり
already
と
utilized
か、
3
いろ
breaching
いろ
charges.
こ
Really, let me see one spot
う、攻
where
め
it
の意
could
図
have
っていう
happened.
の
Maybe a
が
second
結
one in
構
the
分かっ
back
ちゃって、
garage
あそこ
walls.
登
But
られるの本当にきついんです
outside of
よ
that,
ね。だから、
let's be
ガレージ
done
から
with
のプッ
those
シュは絶
breaching
対入れ
charges.
た方
He
が
has
基本的
used
に
them
はいい
all
んです
elsewhere.
けど、エンパイアはガレージプッ
Cross
シュ
now
し
is
てないで
Joystick
す
as it's
ね。
Hicks unable to collect the kill onto Joystick, but he does land a shot onto Karzeka as he
が
goes
ここで
sprinting wildly into
あれ不
construction.
利ですね。
The
非番
drone
で
will
すね。
identify the positioning of Hicks again, but
風か
Joystick
ですね。
carrying the diffuser will dictate this push. The construction push going to be pretty hard when you don't have a hard breacher left on the board, and he already utilized all of his X Kairos
やっ
elsewhere
ぱ
as
り
well.
ガレージ
The
の
problem of not enough
オ
breaching
ペレーターたち
utility.
にかなり苦戦して
Uno
る
still
イメー
playing
ジで
up
す
in the
ね。
rafters, just no
そ
longer on
こ
top
が
of
倒
the
せないと
bookshelf.
正
Aces on
直
a
厳しいん
flank
じゃ
throw
な
from
い
that
かなと思い
bedroom
ま
will
す
take down
ね。
Joystick. And
今
now
のはジョイ
just
スティック
Shepard
が多分、
playing circles around him, can't
物
spot
理から降
aces
りたん
tucked
で
in
す
behind
け
the
ど、
kitchen island.
ダ
And
メだったって
now
感じです
last
ね。
man alive is
これは
Cypher.
もう
Uno
数で負
cleans
けま
that
した
one up
ね。
as
やっぱ
well.
ガレージプッシュしてなかったの
LESTREAM
が範囲ですね。これ。
after a round where they looked like they were about to get dominated.
こう外終わってもガレージにずっといられると、結局、ガレージから外潰されちゃうんですよね。なので、入れなくて、ずっとそこでもじもじしちゃうってなって、で、それを打開するために多分物流から行ったんですけど、物流が、有益に潰されて、決めが成立しなかったっていうパターンですね。
Doesn't really see a lot of play. I think the only real region that we've seen run it more than once or twice was North America, and it didn't work out so well for the defenders, and I think that's a key part of why you don't see it anymore. Gym Master, or Gym Bedroom as it's called here, might not necessarily be the best place for the defense, but it's certainly a lot better than that first floor.
これね、
It's
火花、
also typically the site that you expect the defenders to lose in a perfect world on a perfect rotation here.
ハードブリーチャーがね、火花しかいないんで、やっぱり、基本バンディットとか、プロリーグだとあんまりピックされることってないんですけど、ハードブリーチャーが火花しかいないんで、バンディットを結構ピックしてますね。やっぱり火花に対してはバンディットのね、持ちつきっていうのはかなり有効で、まあここもエンパイアと同じ防衛の仕方なんですけど、キャッスルのバリケードでジム外の車線っていうのをカットして、バンディットのね持ちつきを成功させるっていう作戦の取り方ですね。これはもうエンパイアと全く同じ守り方をしますね、おそらく。で、多分、金庫側は、これおそらくリージョンが守るんじゃないかな。金庫はリージョンが入って、インパクト持ちつきを待機しながら、金庫守るっていう形じゃないかな。ああ、遠隔持ちつきもしないんですね、おそらくこれ。しないのか。まあ、インパクト持ちつきしてもね、下1枚残っちゃうんですよね、どうしても。本当にうまく当てないと。 なので、かもしれないですね。これ、敵の作戦パクりましたね、完全に。ジョイスティックがクラウドを使ってんのを見たのは僕は初めてですね。これ完全に多分パクってますね。多分即席で考えた作戦だと思います、これ。これは本当に出さるのかちょっと謎ですね。
I think Aces is realizing here that you might not necessarily have this same push on the jacuzzi walls. He picks up one of those bandit batteries and then moves on over. This is a very obvious castle setup. You mentioned that Team Empire was mimicking what LESTREAM was doing, except they're bringing the Thatcher. Well, it also appears that LESTREAM is mimicking much of this Jin setup. Joystick unable to hit all of his shots immediately, but he's going to do a lot of damage to Rise. Hicks pops out of nowhere, shuts down Karzeka. There goes your lone hard breacher. So you've been able to put all the focus. Hello!
これはうまいマッチ。
今の
マッチがうまかったですね。ピークするタイミングが上手ですね。
And now Empire have lost two very important pieces of the puzzle. Lose the Capital, you lose the Havana. It's going to force Scyther into a contest, but it's two
ちょっ
kills
と
from
そこでピー
LESTREAM.
クしちゃったのはなんでかっていうのがわかんないですね。やっぱり、
What can you do? You have
ち
a
ょっと
1v5,
やっぱり
Aces is
即
down, and Rise
席
might also be down
な
as
んじゃない
well.
かなと思い
So
ま
it's
すね、この作
essentially a
戦が。
1v3, but Hicks is on such low HP, this could become a 1v2 very
二人忍者
quickly.
し
It's
てますね、
very
これ。
winnable for Shepard, but he's going to have to rely on
二人
LESTREAM
忍者、
not throwing this away.
でも
Because it
も
will
う、
be LESTREAM losing it rather than Shepard winning it in most
キャ
cases.
ッチャーしかいないっていう状況なん
P
です
from
ね。
Shepard will go out to collect one kill onto Aces, possibly stat padding for the time being. He'll find a second onto Rise through the body of Aces, at least from our perspective. And Shepard falls down. So he's going to kill some more times. He now needs to rotate the fadeaway EMP will take out Evil Eye Cam, at least for the time being. And he'll ascend towards the main stairs. But he'll be making an awful lot of noise in the process. Hicks on low HP will still exist with Alfama and Uno there, and those are good shots that are just simply waiting. The EMP at the top of the stairs for Shepard will give his position away yet again. And he'll tussle. He's not able to land the shots. Pulls out his pistol, but this will be in vain as Uno moves LESTREAM to match point.
モンターニューの付け方が
Empire
範囲だと思いますね。
on the season.
モンターニューとちゃんと後ろのカバーを入れて、モンターニューは一緒にプッシュしてあげないと、ああいう風にモンターニューがピークをして、モンターニューが殲滅をするっていう形になっちゃうと厳しいですね。やっぱり即席の作戦だったような気がしますね。エンパイアとしては。
They're going to hold the tiebreaker.
Yeah. I was just thinking maybe there could be a
ちょっと
tiebreak
盤
change
が
here,
正
but,
直かなりこれ
Would have to be
は
that. Would have to be a 7-1 scoreline for
予
LESTREAM
想
just
外
to
だったんじゃ
equalize,
ない
which
かな
point would
っ
it
て
come
い
down to
う
round
感じ
differential,
の
which Empire is just crushing most
just
teams on.
destroying. I think they were plus 32 heading into the day. This won't help because now they can't win, so they're at
まあ
least
テル
going
ミ
to
ットを
draw
バンされ
in
るっていうのは
plus
結構
32.
考えてなか
Or
っ
they're
た
going
ん
to
じゃ
take
な
a
いか
hit to
な
the
って
round
いう感じ
differential.
の
We're going to be heading downstairs to Church
攻
and
めになって
Arsenal
ますね。
as we take a few extra moments to load in, but it seems like we're fine. We survived. We're good.
まあ僕もテルミッ
6-3 scoreline here in
ト
favor of
クラブ
LESTREAM.
ハ
So
ウス
they've
でテ
already
ルミット
guaranteed
1
themselves
か
a crucial point, and that could be a deathly
火
blow.
花バンは
We
よ
have
く
to
見るん
wait
です
and
け
see
ど
how
ね。
the
火
outcome of the rest
花
of the games
と
transpire.
マーベリックのバンっていうのは結
Now
構
guaranteed
あ
that
るんです
even
け
if
ど、
you
テ
walk
ル
away
ミ
with
ッ
a
トバンっ
draw
ていうの
in
は
this
結
scenario,
構
Chaos lose.
確か
The
に
best Chaos could do is
見
tie
な
you
い
with
かもし
points.
れないな。
Still scary though, 'cause Chaos is the tiebreaker.
Keep in mind,
うん。それが効いてる気がしますね、正直。テルミットをバンされ
has
て、
gotten 1 point out of this contest, which means that
っていうのが
officially,
効いてる気がします
for
ね。
the first time
も
since
う
the
エコーと
6th
か、もう
Invitational
この
2017,
洞窟にこもれちゃうんでね。
the
テルミ
roster
ットを
of
バンされちゃう
G2
と。
will not be present at a Pro League event or major. It is impossible for G2 to qualify for Milan
こ
now.
れ食らってますね、だいぶ。
And later today,
多
in the
分イン
matchup
パクです
against
ね、これ多分。
Chaos, there will be huge
イン
stakes
パ
for
ク
Chaos,
か、工
but
事で
ultimately none for G2. So
フレ
they
ンドリ
get
ーファイアが
themselves
発生した感じ
what I
で
think a lot of
す
people
ね。
would say, and I say this with
で、や
respect.
っぱり遊撃は出てないですね。どっちも、
Yes.
So there will be
ああ、でも青
a second
階
team
の
that is
上に上が
not
ってるのかな、これ
G2
は。
in Milan.
おっと、これは見落としてるが
So the
大
victory
丈
here
夫。ああ、
if
見落としてない
LESTREAM
です
can
ね。
also eliminate
いきましたね。
Penta, because Penta right now is hanging on by a thread. They need to ensure that there's only 1 point.
おー
Joystick just to spray
す
through
ご
the
い気持ちいい。
ground. Just to capture aces. That is a wonderful shot. a bit of luck on his side there, and for LESTREAM, they lose one of their operators
まあ
very
この
early.
ジョイスティックだけじゃないんですけど、このチームエンパイアっていうのはもう、なんだこのチーターみたいな決め打ちっていうのが本当に多いんですよね。だから初めて今このチームエンパイアの持ち味が出たと言っても過言ではないですね。多分今の足取られてたのかな。取られて1回目か2回目が出た瞬間に
well-handedly
決め打ちを食らっ
suited
た
sorry
の
to
か、
attack
ちょっと
downstairs into kitchen
微妙なとこ
last
です
time
ね。
around. They had a
これで
5v2 advantage that
C4 持
only
ちはパ
really
ルスだ
fell
けな
apart
ん
because
で、
of time. Because
祭
of
壇
the FOM.
は
Look to
パル
replicate
ス
the
がいな
defense
けれ
here with
ば
LESTREAM as well. Down
こ
a
の委員
man
会
though,
は
and
簡単にプッ
almost
シュが
down
できるって
another
いう
on
判断が
Uno
でき
on
ま
the
す
side
ね。
of Blue Tunnel. Sounds like he's battling up against
で、
Joystick. A
C4 を
Nitro
使っ
Cell
ちゃ
Sword
ったん
apparently
で、
will not connect. Got inside of Blue now is Uno pressuring onto Joystick, so he'll have a health difference between the two, I guess. And even come away slightly better off, but the rate of fire on the PDW, we have another thing to say to Uno should they come into another engagement.
Uno also had some support, I would say,
このメイ
from
ン界
Hex's
の
Yokai drone, which is
攻めっ
inside
ていう
of
のは
blue,
基
which
本
might
この
persist
キ
for the
ャ
time
ピタオがや
being.
る
I
っていう
don't
のが
know
決
if
まっ
it's
てるん
been
です
taken out
ね。
or not. Keep in mind that because there is a Thatcher on the board
そ
for
のメイン
Empire,
界か
they can
ら
find
キャピタオ
those
が行っ
Yokais pretty quickly. There's no IQ though, as you've seen Joystick is on the Jackal, worked
ヒア
well
を
with
そこに
PDW
焚
to
く
get
っ
the
ていう
kill
の
on
が
Ace. Since then,
戦法なん
Uno's
です
really been the
ね。
only person from LESTREAM who's had to sweat all that
それを
much.
やりたいんですね、こ
40
れ多分ね。
seconds now in which
チームメ
LESTREAM
イト
can
としては。
all but assuredly book their ticket to Milan and eliminate Penta from the
祭壇
playoff
の
race
裏
at the
を、
same time. But Joystick
う
has
わ
something
ー
to
もう
say
ジョイ
about
ス
that.
ティ
Both
ックの
Afama
この
and Uno have been downed. See how
決
Afama
め
can
打
finish
ち
top
が
rise
す
falls as
ごい。
well and hits.
でもナイスですね。この起こしたのはナイスだけども2対5になってると。これはきついですね。いやー、このジョイスティックがこれ、もう気持ちよすぎるというか。
Look at the clock. It'll hit the 6-second mark, and Hicks is just going to wait ever so patiently. Unless there's a second Yokai in play, but oh, gets shot, and that will assuredly be a successful plant down. Whether Hicks is going to be able to make it out of oil pit, it's going to be a slippery situation, to say the least. We'll find Joystick. Jackal was already quite weak. The MP5 at that long range, unless you're hitting on the head, doesn't do a ton of damage. It won't do much there either. As Hicks is just going to trudge along in his own barbed wire, he'll be stopped short. Empire will not let LESTREAM walk away with this just yet. They'll continue playing onwards as it's an unsuccessful defensive church downstairs. The first unsuccessful defense for LESTREAM. But they'll have 2 more opportunities to put this one
4対
away.
1なんで、まあ。
Good news for LESTREAM here is you've had 2 pretty shaky defenses downstairs inside of Church and Arsenal. You can go back to CCTV and Cash because you most recently also just won the champion. Not a bad look here for LESTREAM as they were
まあもうジョイスティックがジャッカルかノマドしかやんないんで
actually CCTV and gym bedroom. Empire not really finding a way to chew through the armor that LESTREAM had set up on their defensive side. So an attempt to close things out swiftly in a 7-4 contest. That's something that can be said for many teams being able to do against Team Empire. That is not a common feat, being able to take them down in anything less than 12 rounds.
まあ現状でもうナンバーワンな種って言ったらやっぱりそうですね、チームリキッドの
I wonder what it's going to take for Empire to break out of the slump. Because even in a couple of the rounds that Empire has won, they look a little shaky. Mind you, we can kind of forgive them for this matchup because they are still getting Dan into the Empire ecosystem. He's been a little bit snake bitten, as you can see. He's got 7 assists, which shows that his contributions haven't been able to net him the full kills. But he's still doing what's needed for the team. It's going to take some time for him to be able to get into the rhythm, I'm sure. Replace what Shockwave was capable of doing.
ジョイスティックのキルですが1なんでやっぱりキルが取れてないですね。そこがやっぱり敗因かな、今負けてる原因かなとは思いますね。
For LESTREAM here, it's about replicating.
キルが取れればいいってもんじゃないんですけど、
Time and time again, getting your reps in
や
and
っぱりキルが取れてないっていうのは戦術が成立してないからキ
You're
ル
looking
が
to
取れてない
close
ってい
out
うこと
one
だと
round
思う
of
ん
a
で、
possible 3 remaining, including this one. Joystick will start things off again.
これも本当にオーバーレイ越しに見てても分かりますけど、本当に決め打ちの精度がもうなんだこれはっていう感じですよね。もう今なんなら当たりそうでしたよね、今ね。
Soft barricade again for Joystick to spray through. So that first quick kill that Empire got last time around won't come this time. And last time around it was Dan utilizing those asphyxiating bolts up into the rafters to like not 1 but 2 kills in tandem with the fire that was being brought in from the rest of the guns on Empire down towards the door. Got Karzeka, I guess, second guessing where he wants to put this garage hole. He's actually going to do it on the bottom of the
やっぱりさっきの
That's not your most common position
ガレージからガンガンやられたのを見て、やっぱりここはもうガレージを攻めようっていうところを決心して、もう2個使いましたね。今のデータも。
Going to be contesting from the bottom of garage, either that or aces in the bandit. No, it's rise.
なんか気になるのはこの単体でいっちゃってるんですよね。なんかなんですかね、エンパイアはそんなに。まあ、ジョイスティックに関しては一人で行くことも、1の動きをすることも、なくはないかな。結構、バラバラになんか言ってますね。そこはかなり気になるな。これですね。これが、この押し出しが本当に強いんで、キャピタルをチェックしてるって感じですね。ガレージを駆使したいときはもうキャピタを絶対入れた方がいいと思います。プロリーグでもかなり流行ってますね。
I mean, you've lost Uno, though. You've lost the Smoke, who's playing up top, who's able to survive effectively. That's a good operator in the clutch of the round. It's also going to precipitate a Rye, or it's going to,
I
guess, necessitate a rotate from Rise. He's going to try to get back in. Shepard's just going to barrel in towards the site, finds himself right in the crosshairs bases. And unless Scyther and Karzak are able to perform
これはちょっとやばいですね。今2人になっちゃってるんで、しかも1日で攻めちゃってるんで、これはもう。今のはちょっと片方ピークしながら片方が進むっていうやり方にしないとダメだったのになぜか1日で攻めちゃってましたね。それかまたぎのところだけ見てたのかな。あの位置だと。もしかしたら下からのプッシュその裏取りとまたいで出てくるあそこをブロックしてたのかもしれないですけど、まあでもそれにしても走り込んでいくっていうのは今のは NG だと思いますね。
Yeah, and for this game as well, like we said, it's a lot of mixing and matching here for Empires, a lot of experimenting with new things. I think that double hard breach on Clubhouse really screwed with them. They didn't really look like they knew how to attack all that well. In comparison to LESTREAM, who clearly brought out that thermite ban, they were intending to bring this strategy, so they clearly had more practice and more expertise in attacking Clubhouse with only one hard breacher. And LESTREAM stumbled a little bit on the offset, you know, they come out and they lose the first 2 rounds pretty swiftly to Empire. And I'm saying, you know, don't worry, it could be like a 5-1 split. It did end up being a defender-sided game, but the attack wins from LESTREAM really the difference maker in that entire matchup.
After those first 2 rounds that Empire were able to take so decisively, the first round might have been a bit of an outlier just because Joystick got the spawn kill onto Uno, which you can't rely on every single round. And as I said, after that, it didn't look like Empire even tried for a spawn peak. Everybody from LESTREAM is going to be anticipating it to a certain extent. But it's actually remarkable the way that LESTREAM were able to bounce back because those 2 rounds were not that difficult for Empire. They looked like they weren't breaking much of a sweat. And LESTREAM just got into this groove and really started to take advantage of the fact that they had the thermite ban. It was obviously very well coordinated from them. It was calculated, and it seemed to have caught the rest of Empire off guard because even when Empire had Karzeka on hand with the X-Karos, it didn't look like Empire knew how to work around the fact they had a singular hard breacher. And that is one of the keys to defeating Empire. They are very good at doing the same thing over and over again, hitting their shots, having great decision-making skills, and good droning. You know, there was speculation that the reason why they like going to maps like Constant and Oregon is because they are so played out that you can basically play the same strat over and over and win every time. You can't really do that on Clubhouse, not with the way the rotation is. So, for Empire, you've lost 2 of the last 3. You have a draw. You're still looking for a victory over the last 3 weeks. They have an opportunity to do that next week. But that's it for this matchup. Our next matchup is going to be Mouse versus Penta. Penta's trip to Milan was just cancelled effectively with LESTREAM's victory. So we'll throw to a break. And then we'll come back with match number 2 of the day.
またもしやれば見に来てください。ではお疲れ様でした。この抜き気持ちよかったですね。このモンタのプッシュがね、完全に効いてましたね。モンタのプッシュとこのグラズ 完全に効いてました。本当にうまかったと思います。リストリーム e スポーツが本当にうまかったと思います。これはね、多分スモークの中にいるっていう情報は言ってたはずなんで、あそこでスモークの中をちゃんとピークしてなかったっていうのはちょっとエンパイアの作戦が、これやっぱり決め打ちだよな。すごすぎますね。もうジョイスティックの決め打ちの精度が高すぎて、ここね、ここは走っちゃダメですね、あれは。あ、この後マウス e スポーツとペンタあるんですね。10分後なんでちょっと一回切りますね。はい、ありがとうございました。